Let's analyze what happened in the stock market today, Tuesday, March 8, 2022. This is a daily chart of the S&P 500. For the record, I am no longer shorting the S&P 500. I liquidated my position today. Let me go to the 5-minute chart and then we'll come back to the daily. I liquidated 1/3 of my original position early in the morning, right under 41.85 right here. And then the last third of my position, I liquidated that after the market closed, right around the same price where it closed. Today was a very erratic day. It was all over the place. That's today's price action. Very crazy. Today was a very large trading range, over 100 points, but that's becoming normal now. What would you expect for tomorrow? Levels that I'll be watching on the way up would be strong resistance around, say, 42.20 and 42.35. That should act as very strong resistance. On the way down, support today's low and around the close, which was around 41.65 plus or minus a few points. If it get down to this level, 41.20, I would expect a very strong reaction there, either undershoot or overshoot. If tomorrow we get down here, that's where I would be watching very closely and see if we get a bounce. But that bounce can happen up here also. After 4 days, 4 down days, big drop, there's a big wave, big magnitude of how many points? 44.16 to 40, what was the low? 16. That's like roughly 150, 140 points. So that's a big drop. So expect a bounce from any level as soon as tomorrow. Yeah, so path of least resistance is south, but based on this big drop, oversold. So that bounce should be coming soon. Reason why I decided to liquidate my position. End up with a big gap up in the morning, and likewise, to the downside. If that's the case, like I said, a bounce will be very possible. For the Nasdaq 100, a very similar price pattern to intraday to the S&P 500. For the record, I liquidated my S triple Q position, so I'm no longer shorting the Nasdaq 100. I liquidated the last third of my original position right under 13,300 early in the morning. It was around this area right here. Important levels for tomorrow will be 13,100 and 13,400 on the way up. If we can get this high up here, that should be expect very strong resistance. That has been pivot level multiple times before, and that's where you're gonna find the 5-day declining 5-day moving average. For support will be around this area, the green zone, around between 13,000 and 13,100. If we get a bounce from here, if we get down here, I'll be watching very closely for a bounce, confirmation of a bounce to play the long side. We've been down 3 days in a row, so I'm looking for a bounce. I'm not interested and looking for a short setup. I think a long setup will be most likely, but you never know. We'll see what happens tomorrow. For the Dow Jones Industrial Average, I don't really see much support until this low right here, around 32,300. Below all major moving averages, declining very sharply Path of least resistance is down. Big sell-off the last 4 sessions, so same as the other indices. Expect a bounce anytime now, and we'll gauge the strength of the bounce. Now for the Philly Semiconductor Index, this one was stronger than the other indices, was able to push higher and test the 5-day moving average, and that pivot point 3250 finished higher for the day above 3150. That's this pivot point here. So that was not bullish, not bearish, but it was strong today. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Now for the Russell 2000 IWM ETF, look how important this price level has been. 199 has been very strong price level. That was a high for today. Coincided with the 10-day, the 5-day moving average, where it found strong resistance and ended up closing way below that point. For tomorrow, if it breaks, if for some reason it's able to break, push about that level, and the 20-day moving average, that's where I might be looking for an entry point to go long. This one is stronger than the other indices because it is so close to these moving averages. So this one is looking very interesting. Remember to always be prepared and have a trading plan for the day. Thanks for watching.